Welcome to Planetary Calendars, Astro Portraits. I'm Ralph Demetrius, one of the astrologers. This is part of our series about actresses that do action parts. It takes a certain type of personality to do that, and as we've done multiple portraits of these actresses, it's really remarkable the parallels that have come up. The actress this time is Margo Robbie, an Australian, born July 2nd, 1990, 7:45 a.m. in Dalby, Australia. She is quite unusual in that she is a Cancerian. We've seen almost no Cancerians in this series. What's really entertaining about that is that she's born with Cancer rising as well. Okay, she's Cancer rising. In fact, she has a major stellium in Cancer, but if you add, especially at other points, and you've got Mercury at 8 degrees Cancer, the Sun at 9 degrees, Chiron at 17 degrees. This is a person who studies. This is a person who feels. Jupiter at 19 degrees, right? So both the Sun and Jupiter are very powerful here, and in what's called the Gogolon spot, the spot right above the horizon where energy is really focused, and the nodal point Selena, which gives a person a tremendous amount of gracefulness and charm when you meet them. Just lovely, lovely chart. She's someone, when you first meet her, you get an instant impression of who this person is, an instant impression. Now, interestingly, with all this going on, the other major factor there, of course, is going to be the moon, right? And Venus, because she is, after all, an actress. Her moon's in Scorpio. Her moon is in a martial-ruled sign, okay? And Scorpio is a profoundly martial position for the moon. It's deep. It's intense. It can be brooding at times. It will go deeply into things that other people don't want to go into. And some of her roles have been very intense. The other thing we want to look at, of course, is her Mars, because we're talking about an action actress. Where's her Mars? Aries. Aries is like one for this kind of role. It's a tremendously good position because they have a tremendous sense of physical power. The Mars in Aries has this great sense of physical power. They're right where they're supposed to be. Angelina Jolie, for instance, I believe has a Mars in Aries. It's a real strong position, highly elevated in the chart, up in the 10th house. So she has the moon conjunct Juno and Pluto all in the 5th house, right? So she's got this deep, martial, feminine personality. It's trine, all this stuff in Scorpio is trine all this stuff in Cancer rising. So behind that lovely Cancerian experience is this deeply emotional person who could keep a secret forever. The great thing about the Scorpio moon is they'll keep your secrets forever. They're really good about that. I mean, I call it the confidant position. It's the person you confide in. Mars in Aries means it's very powerful. It's right out there in the world. And then she has as her midheaven. Her midheaven's in the 11th house, is in Taurus, 9 degrees Taurus, with Vesta at the midheaven. And Vesta at the midheaven makes the person a feminine archetype, and she really is. I mean, she's a tremendous. If you've seen her in roles, she really has this tremendous sense of like the feminine archetype, and it's in Taurus, a Venus-ruled sign. So it goes back to the Venus in the 12th house, Gemini, which is it's very interesting. I mean, the Venus goes back to the Venus in Gemini is It's a very flirtatious position. It's in the 12th house. She also has the Pallas Athena there as well, and Estrella there. This is someone who, when you put them in a place like a movie set, this protected set, which is what the 12th house is about, it's play to her. This is play. This is fun. She's great at exchanging with people. She brings great charm to it. But you put these different things together. Remember, it's Mars-ruled and Mercury-ruled signs. Mars-ruled moon. Mars-ruled Mars. Remember that planet's real powerful. Mercury-ruled Venus. Okay, she doesn't have anything in the other Mercury ruled sign, Virgo. She has Virgo in the third house, but nothing going on there. Though she has Mercury conjunct the Sun. So the Mercury energy is real powerful in her personality. The Sun in Cancer, but I just did this whole thing about the power of the Cancerian Sun position, how strong it is, or how strong the sign Cancer is. Very much like, it's the high summer. Very much like Leo, it's the high summer. It's very energized. It's a cardinal sign. It's got tremendous leverage. Cancer rising, Cancer Sun is a very powerful person. That it's a little bit of the, iron fist inside the velvet glove. Behind that beautiful veneer of her personality is a very strong personality. Her success did not come to her by mistake. It wasn't just like elevated out of, obscurity. She has a very strong personality and a strong physical presence. I mean, her willingness to do her stunts, her willingness to, learn the martial arts she needed to do for this, that's the Mars and Aries. She has no problem doing that. The moon in Scorpio. Some of the roles she's played have been very scorpionic. In fact, it's funny that compared to many of these other actresses, she has a much deeper side to her personality, like a deeper emotional depth than some of the other actresses, are more of a willingness to dig down into that. Now, what's interesting with the Cancer rising, it means she has Capricorn in the 7th house. She has Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus in Capricorn in the 7th house. Her partnerships are very complex. It's all retrograde, too. It's kind of interesting. Her willingness to make partnerships that are unusual, that relate to people who are very creative, but people who are very serious, are quite complex. I mean, she has a very strong sense of who she is. It's one of the reasons why she's willing to make these complex partnerships. Because when you sign a contract to do a movie, and she's primarily a movie actress, I can't think of anything she's done on stage. It's a big commitment. There's a lot of money at stake. It's a big commitment, and she is willing to do this. And we've seen this pattern in a bunch of these very successful actresses, real powerful 7th houses where there's powerful partners. But like I said, one of the amazing things about her personality is that when you meet her, you see right immediately who she is. And the thing that's funny is that because it's Cancer rising, you feel her moon. You feel that Scorpio moon in the 5th house. It's actually, the moon of Scorpio in the 5th house is a very sexy position. Scorpio is a very sexy sign, and because it really just feels its way into you. And people feel that around her. I mean, she comes across with, with the Venus and Gemini, a bit flirtatious, but they feel the power of that Scorpio moon kind of just beneath the surface. There's a certain trust with the Scorpio moon because they know they're not going to betray your secrets. Of course, they might blackmail you with them, but they won't betray you with them, the kind of thing. Not really about the blackmail. But they do understand the power of secrets. But that Mars and Aries is very, very powerful. And remember, in traditional rulerships, the sun rules Leo, but so does the moon. So the sun in Cancer is a very, very strong position. At the rising like that, in the Gogolon spot, is very powerful. This is a very powerful personality. With Jupiter there, this is why, she was born in Australia. She travels all over the world for her work, and a lot of her work is with Hollywood, but she's willing to travel. Selena there makes her tremendously charming. It's just a fascinating chart. We're really looking at it in terms of these actresses that do action parts, but it's a remarkable chart with much greater dimensions than we normally expect in an actor's chart. I mean, just powerfully focused. I think she'll end up being a producer eventually. So, Margo, Robbie, fascinating chart. Come see us at Planetary Calendar Astrology on YouTube. Please subscribe and click that little button so you get notified when we do our portraits, which we do on Tuesday. They're very educational. Hopefully you learn a lot about astrology in the process. We do our forecast from the planetary calendar on Fridays for the coming week. And of course, you can go to Planetary Calendar Astrology, or pardon me, planetarycalendar.com to get your day planners, to get your calendars, to get your pocket version, because you're going to want to know what's going on. Until next time, be well.